Hey team, welcome back. Dave here. I want to take a minute to talk about mastery. And why mastery? Well, it's one of those things that I care about. It's one of the things that I'm trying to build in certain parts of my life. And it's a thing that comes up for my clients. They want to get better at the things they do. I think one of the most powerful paths to mastery that I've seen comes from simplifying. And what I mean by that is really taking the time to simplify down to some small unit of a habit, a process, a movement, or a gesture. Maybe it's a phrase that you repeat almost endlessly, that you get in thousands, tens of thousands of reps until it really just feels natural. Your body knows what to do, your mind knows what to do, and you can even do it without really having to think about it. And then comes the magic of mastery, that you can do it without thinking. But what happens when you do it while you're thinking? One of the examples that comes to mind is offering empathy. When I do a workshop on empathy, I have people practice saying empathetic phrases, being empathetic with peers and colleagues in a role play scenario. And that role play is important because it's divorced of our day-to-day lives. We're not trying to manage the burden and process of things that are much more complicated for us. We are, in fact, just engaging in the behavior, the mechanism, the process of offering empathy, finding a way to tap into ourselves, some form of hearing and feeling with that other person. And one of the outcomes that I'm always looking for participants is that they find one or two phrases that they can put into their own language, in their own words, a phrase that lives easily in their own mouth, and then they can go use it. And I'm always encouraging, use it where it's small and easy and low stakes so that you have built whatever sort of neurological pathways we end up building, that you can use that phrase when it really matters, that when it's a moment of intensity, you can tap into that skill of empathy that you've been practicing. And if you notice how I've laid that out, there's a few pieces that hopefully registered for you. One or two phrases. We're simplifying down how we practice empathy or how we practice having difficult conversations. Difficult conversations are quite complex. And what are the pieces? Starting the conversation, setting up the topic or the focus that you want to talk about. All right, great. You can pull that down into its pieces and you can practice setting an agenda, setting an intention, sharing your intention behind a conversation when they're not difficult conversations. Step into a meeting with someone, say, hey, I'd like to have a meeting. My intention for this meeting is, right? And then practice your own version of it so that it's natural and easier for you, that when you find yourself in one of those moments of heightened conversation, stakes are higher, it matters, boom, it's a difficult conversation because it's hard to get through, or it's scary to get through what may feel vulnerable or long ignored, or there may be an underswell of emotion that hasn't been attended to or felt or processed, right? This is what makes difficult conversations difficult. I think inherently they have some piece of neglect that finally needs to be tended to. Simplify it down. If you're mastering difficult conversations, pull apart the pieces and really work the pieces that are the hardest for you. And work them in situations that are low risk. It may seem like low reward, but part of what it is just like working on something like atomic habits, right? You are doing the thing enough times that you can do it with ease. Because when I hear about clients who want mastery of some skill or some strategy or approach or conversation, even when I'm thinking about how do I get better at a thing, it really boils down to what's that smallest functional unit that you can practice that's going to bring you some kind of results. Anyway, this is just sort of what's been on my mind today. Until next time, cheers.